another episode of Maxwell Starr's Beer Review. Tonight we're going to take a look at a beer from Montreal, Quebec, generously donated to my channel by Heist Almighty. Going to take a look at Brasseurs d'Arget, number 926, a Belgian-style pale ale. All aboard, enjoy your journey with this number 926, a top-fermented beer on yeast, brewed with great care for your pleasure. Alright, so yeah, Brasseurs d'Arget. I've reviewed a couple of beers from these guys before, also donated by Heist Almighty. I had the Cheval Blanc, I had the Titanic. I think I've had one more, I can't remember which one it is. Either way, I gotta drink this one up. 5% ABV, so it's not like, so it is bottled on lees, like a bottle with yeast in the bottle, but it's 5%. It's not like it's going to be something that's going to last long in the fridge. If you want something to last with yeast on the bottle longer than that, longer than just a few months, it really has to be a strong one, like an Abbey style, or a strong darker, or a strong pale, or something. But I've had this in the fridge since, oh, this is June at the time of this recording, and I've had it in the fridge since about December, I believe, is when he went up to Quebec, and he got this out of a grocery store. Yay. But I've heard good things about RJ before. Anyway, let's give it a pour and see what she looks like. I've had other Belgian-style pale ales before. Ones that come to mind are the likes of, well, Duvel is a strong pale ale. I've also had, like, Lef Blonde, Affligem Blonde. Oh, what's that other one? Had it more recently. Deconic. It wasn't recent either, I think Deconic. Anyway, looking at this, it's very cloudy. I'm almost expecting to see sediment, but I don't really see a whole lot. It looks kind of like grapefruit juice, maybe with a little bit of apricot added, and practically no head at all. And at a 5% beer, I was kind of expecting more than that. To be totally honest, I was hoping for a little bit more head retention out of a beer that's only got 5% ABV, because it's not like it's got a high alcohol content to really knock down that carbonation. But with less carbonation means that I can actually get closer to the smell of the beer, so why don't I give it a sniff? Subtly fruity, maybe a touch of white grape and a little bit like a malt and a brown sugar or something. Touch of feet? No, not feet. What is that? A little bit of fruit. Hint of coriander. Coriander mixed with like a white grape. Maybe a touch of like a pear or a red apple. It's not bad, but it's also quite faint. So not only do you have very little head, you've got very little smell, and while the smell seems to be somewhat on the complex side, you really have to almost stick your nose right into the beer for this and snark. You know, basically, you really can hardly tell, and which means that I'm almost not expecting too much from this. You know, it's a nice cloudy appearance and all, but whatever. Let's give it a taste. That's very much like a, what is that? I've had beers very similar to this before. It's got a lot of coriander in it. It's almost wheat beery, but I'm pretty sure there's no wheat in this. It's almost got like bits of banana and clove and coriander in it, along with those tastes of white grape. And it's also very dry in the sense that it finishes off without a lot of sweetness in the very back. There's like a little bit of a touch of banana flavor, and a little hint of coriander that permeates through the back. But it's very, very light. I'm almost liking it a bit more just because of how light it is, but it's not like it's absolutely incredible. It's, I guess you could call the flavor profile very similar to something like Left or Left Blonde or Affligem Blonde, but the body is very light and there's very little sweetness. It's almost to the point where it's watery. And there's a bit of a toasted grain poking up past the rest of those flavors. Alcohol is well masked, but you'd expect that for a 5% beer. It's not bad. I'm going to sit down with this for a second. I'll be right back. And I'm back with RJ's number 926. So, what did I think about this one? It's alright, you know. It's a half decent drinking beer, but if you were to compare this thing up to other Belgian pale ales, you'd have. Okay. And I'm back with Brasseurs RJ's number 926. So, what did I think about this one? It's okay. It's not a bad drinking beer. If I were handed this again, I'd probably drink it, but it's not something I would really want to go out of my way to find again. When you compare this to other beers in its class, this one is very light and watery. When you compare it to beers like Affligem or Left, they tend to have quite a bit of malt sweetness and quite a bit of spicy flavor. And while this one has a decent bouquet of spices, it's a very, very, very mild malt flavor. And it's also quite dry. This beer actually really tastes like they brewed it with wheat or something. And I wasn't able to find any information about it on their website, considering, not just because their website's only listed in French, the English site's not available yet. It's mainly because, after running it through Google Translate, it didn't say a thing about it, so I can't really tell whether this was brewed with wheat. But it does taste like it was brewed with wheat. This tastes like a really, really, really mild, light version of Dans de Dieu from Unibrew. It's got that little bit of a bean can kind of taste in the back. That almost like that granular taste that you get from a wheat beer or a wit beer. Along with that really nice bouquet of coriander spices and a little hint of, maybe a little hint of cinnamon and allspice, but it's just, there's really not a whole lot to it. I mean, it tastes good. And I imagine there's people out there that are really going to like this beer, but I can think of a bunch of other Belgian-style pale ales and a bunch of other Belgian beers that I would rather have over this one at any given time. That's not to say that I would ever drink this one again. I would drink this again, and if it were available here regularly, I probably would buy a case of it every once in a while. But if I had a choice between this or something from Unibrew kind of takes that one. I'm sorry. It's, to be totally honest, it's probably one of the lower end beers from a Belgian style that I've ever had. As such, I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. It's kind of mediocre, but it's better than a lot of the average swill out there. If you're a lager or a pale ale kind of drinker, and you were looking to get into something with a lot of like a Belgian style, this one here would be a great starter beer for that kind of thing. But if you're that kind of drinker, you might not like the spices in it, and that goes for just about any Belgian beer. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this. So that was my review, Maxwell Starr's beer review of number 926 from Brasseurs RJ. Hope you enjoyed watching the beer review. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Cheers!